about to have a problem. That's got it. Ah!
Watch for incoming! Nice casting!
I'm ready. Let's go. Well, that's done.
Hey, take a look over there.
Siege of Siconia.
Now remember, tell all your friends they are unworthy of setting foot within the Black Emporium.
answer. Need and knowledge.
Ah, hello there. Just admiring how carefully the Fade is woven into this place, as cultivated as a palace garden.
That's old elven stuff for you. Magic everywhere you look, and also where you don't.
I do.
Really?
Oh, consider all the secrets you must have uncovered in Arlathan with the Veil Jumpers. Not to mention traveling with Varric. The adventures you've already had.
Huh. I guess I have had some pretty great times.
Oh, I'd love to hear about more of them.
Really?
Work was always my excuse not to travel. But now that I've joined you, I'm finally exploring outside Navarra's crypts. Ah, speaking of the necropolis.
Yes? Never given it much thought.
You hadn't? Ah, he's finished the reagent. Please excuse us. Excellent work, Manfred.
Rook, something's come up. Evka dug around and found us someone who knows more about the Gloomhowler.
Anything useful?
Our new friend wants to talk in person. Figured you'd want to come along for the...
Do you miss White Sox?
Mila.
You're keeping busy. You all set?
Thanks for tagging along, Rook. Those feelers I put out about the Gloomhowler turned up something. Evka, I got your message.
I figured you'd want to hear this. This is Davrin and Rook. You can trust them.
What's your name?
You're in a town full of Grey Wardens. It's probably the safest place in the world right now.
How can we help?
My name's Valya. When I heard about Wise Helped, what happened, I once trained to be a Grey Warden, but I left before the joining.
It's not for everyone.
It wasn't that. I'm the one who found the griffin eggs before they hatched.
I've got about 1,000,000 questions. But why come to us now?
I knew some of the wardens who were caring for the griffins, Remy and Lancet. I think I know what killed them.
The Gloomhowler. It's a Grey Warden, isn't it? An elf.
But that's all we know.
Yes. Her name was Isaiah. I found her diary. She was a mage. She blighted all the griffins during the fourth blight.
What?
Upon direct orders from the first warden at the time. She had no choice. This was centuries ago.
I can understand why this Isaiah is so pissed.
She felt betrayed by the wardens, forcing her to do. As penance, she hid the remaining eggs with a protective spell. I followed the clues and found them.
That was 400 years ago. She shouldn't even be alive.
Her last entry said she left for her calling.
Then she's probably in the deep roads. Blighted. Twisted.
Hassan? I was there the day you hatched. You've grown.
Careful. He's a shameless flirt.
That's because he's such a pretty boy, isn't he? I remember feeding him gingerwort truffles as a baby.
So you're the reason Davern's been hunting mushrooms instead of monsters.
Anything for the prince.
I don't see a crown on your head yet, boy.
There should be. Griffins give the wardens hope. Something to rally around after Weishaupt. Please find his brothers and sisters, whatever it takes. We owe them so much. Stay safe, Hassan.
This is good information, but it still doesn't tell us where the Gloomhowler is.
No, but the other wardens will keep looking.
You miss Warden Yano?
He told good stories.
He did.
Rook, would you care to accompany me to the Memorial Gardens?
More grave lighting?
No, whenever you've time. Now, what do you have to say for yourself?
Did I miss something?
Since we're here to gather flowers for the dead, I thought I'd teach Manfred some plant. But I just caught him attempting to wade into a rose.
That must have been frustrating.
He knows he's not supposed to play in the horticulture. Oh, Manfred. Whatever will happen to you if I pass on.
If?
There's something I'd like to talk. Do you know what a lich is, Rook?
Doesn't ring a bell.
A lich is a mage transformed into one of the undead while retaining their true, original consciousness. The idea fascinated me when I was younger. For years, I researched and experimented, spoke with spirits and mages. Then, eventually, I found them.
Who?
The Lich Lords of the Grand Necropolis. Necromancers before me who'd transformed themselves into true living dead.
You're making this up.
Rook, please. I've told so few people.
Sorry.
The Liches are the great protectors of the Necropolis, bulwarks against forces that threaten creation. After years of tests and rituals, they granted me my desire, the right to attempt lichdom.
That's great for a necromancer, right?
It is a singular. Lichdom is an incredible honor. Immortality, prestige, the most hallowed ranks of the Watchers, as well as a chance to be of service past my allotted year. But there are considerations. Come, we have flowers to gather for the dead.
Okay, but I've got questions.
Blue creepvine. This will do nicely.
Emmerich, aren't most undead just random spirits inside corpses?
Liches are different. It wouldn't be a spirit acting in my name. My true consciousness would be housed in my departed flesh.
How?
The Order must keep some secrets. Moon blossoms, famed in verse and song.
Smells like perfume. Do liches have a sense of smell?
I've been told that while some of my senses will dull, others will become available. Other than that, I can't say if the flowers would still hold their bloom for me. Lichdom serves a purpose. There are dark things in creation, threats to both our world and the Fade. The Liches of the Necropolis have the insight and the abilities to oppose them.
And you're joining them. When?
Certain elements have held me back. There's no ready instructions for lichdom. The steps must be discovered on one's own over years to be fully understood.
Does the spell to become a lich kill you, or do you have to...
No, mercifully, that falls to another Watcher. After my death, my soul will be drawn back into my body instead of moving on to whatever lies beyond.
So, what's holding you back from lichdom?
Even with all my preparations, there's a chance I could die permanently during the rites. What cowardice! The promise of immortality, an end to all my fears, and the final veil stays my hand.
That's reasonable. Lots of people are afraid of dying.
Is it? When it keeps me from what I most desire. Traditionally, candidates for lichdom face one final sifting of the soul. If they avoid it, you saw my old colleague.
Hezengas. She's a lich?
A half-lich, though that hasn't diminished her powers. Why don't you select the next flowers, Rook?
Sure. So what's a half-lich exactly?
Johanna attempted the rites of lichdom and failed. Stuck in her in-between state, she is supremely dangerous, but can't learn any new magic.
What about the sifting of a soul that Hezenkas avoided?
The spirits of the necropolis judge whether a candidate is worthy of the power and responsibility of lichdom.
How'd she become a lich without it?
I shared some knowledge.
For a Watcher, Hezenkas is pretty harsh on spirits.
We made allowances because of her discoveries. Too many. Spirits are not things to be disposed of.
You really care about it?
For all she's done, I can't condemn Johanna for attempting lichdom. That freedom from mortality, that divorce from fear. And of course, time to read all of one's books.
Of course.
But how she's abused her abilities. Are my intentions enough to fare better?
Worrying's a good sign.
We have enough flowers. There's something I'd like to show you. Here we are.
Oh, so these flowers are for...
Yes. If you could place them on the graves, please.
In memory of Rupert and Eleanor Volkaren. They walk eternity hand in hand.
After I became a Watcher, I erected a proper shrine to my parents. When I come to talk, I like to think they listen. Well, don't be shy. Introduce yourself.
Rook, it's a pleasure. Do you remember your parents?
Some memories are bright. Others are akin to those dim early morning dreams one gets sometimes. Lately, I wondered what they'd think of our current course, the choices ahead.
Your lichdom.
What would they have wanted me?
I can tell you what I think they'd want you to be.
What's that?
Happy. You could always speak with your folks, could...
My parents last saw me as a boy. By the time I mastered my corpse whispering, I was a man. If I woke them, there might be a flash of recognition, or... Besides, if I speak to too many other spirits, Manfred might grow jealous.
Can't have that.
He'd be impossible, I agree.